I know we've spoken a little bit about what are the mental health disorders that kids are, or challenges that the kids are facing. I was just wondering if there is something that you could probably tell them as to how to deal with some of these issues. If the child is going through a period of stress, or if they feel like they're very anxious, and is there anything that they could do on their own maybe to relieve some of that, or maybe some advice for the parents where they can coach their child or guide their child as to how to deal with these situations in a better fashion.
So I usually share five-step approach. The first thing is, as a parent, it's very hard to see our children, teenagers go through some difficult time. We try our best to not have, our children come across any kind of difficulty, but this is just part of, the normal they're growing up. So there may be incident where they may not do well in exam. There may be incident where there is some behavioral issues in the school. There may be incident when there are some issues at the playground. So these are all, or there may be incident then where they mess up. So whenever those kind of situation happen, the five-step approach that I usually share with the parents is, the first thing is we remind ourselves, the more I stay calm in those situations, the better I'm able to help my child. So instead of going into, who told you don't do that, who told you not, that's not the right subject to choose, the right sports to join, right friends to hang out. And so rather than going that, you may know, and I strongly believe parents know their child the best. You know why your child mess up, you know what are the contributing factors. So rather than going into right and wrong, fixing, advising, the first thing you remind yourself, the more I stay calm, the better I can help my child. So that's first step. The second thing is you validate your child feeling. That's a very ironic that some people say you are telling us that, if my child mess up, I am just reinforcing, by validating the feeling. But what Dr. Dan Siegel say, name it to tame it. Like if we can help our children to name their feeling, they are more likely to tame the feeling. So the second thing is if your child seems sad, upset, frustrated, scared, angry, irritable, just say it. You don't need a psychology background to mention what feeling they are going through. Just say it. You seem pretty angry, you seem pretty upset, you seem pretty frustrated. And then the third thing is you know what your child have done wrong rather than, again, right and wrong. I call it a 10-minute Dr.Z rule, where you use the curiosity, you use the exploration. Your child, so you stay calm, you validate, it seems like you're very frustrated because, you did not do well in school. Tell me a little bit more. When your child say, oh, my teacher, and they may make excuses. That's the first question that you were asking. They may say this, and these are all excuses. But rather than, again, going into right and wrong, you just ask, you repeat what they said. So you feel like you failed this, exam because your teacher were not able to teach you properly. But tell me a little bit more, what specifically your teacher was not able to communicate, what helped you to do well in that subject and not in this subject? What was going on that you got into argument? What was the other person saying? What were you said? How did your teacher respond? So you are using curiosity, you're using exploration, you are repeating what your child is saying in a summarized way. So these are all things that is helping your child being understood, being heard, not being judged, and you're giving your child and a space where the child is brainstorming, and trying to help come out what could have done. And the fourth step, so that is a collaborative exploration for 10 minutes, and then the fourth is, based on whatever the discussion you have, then share some thoughts. So it seems like that I can understand you seem very frustrated and because of this, and you mentioned that because of this reason. Can we try these things differently? So then when you give suggestions, so Dr. Dan Siegel said, now they are more likely to listen to your suggestion because you listen to them first, and they are more likely to listen to you. And the fifth step is you reflect. Reflect means that last time this situation happened, and I was able to listen to him or her or them by this way, and it was helpful and it was not helpful. So these are the 5 steps that I share with the parents that may make failure, may make these all feelings, sadness, all those child are doesn't have to hide this feeling, doesn't have to feel ashamed. And definitely as a parent, we need to help our child what is wrong and right. And we need to help them how to move forward, but do it in a way that make them feel heard, understood, not being judged. So more kind, more empathic, and do it in a way that we are both learning together with this experience.
Thank you, Dr. Zeshan. I'm sure that's very helpful for the kids and parents out there.